Oho, ho'oponopono, jai bhagwan, namaste, house, whoosh, 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 whoosh. Hello, my family, my brothers, my sisters, my friends, my family, my fellow companions. So nice to gather here again. Today I have a very special topic I would like to go into, and it's not really a fun subject. However, I can understand that there are tons of people that need to hear this message right now. And I'd like to mention a book that kind of helped me along my path, and it's called Facing Love Addiction by Pia Melody. You can actually listen to this for free on audiobook. They're offering a 30-day trial. And this book is particularly for codependents, also known as the love addict and the love avoidant. This book, it's helped me so much, and I can thank a girl named Chelsea for sharing this book on her Instagram that I had found, or I guess you could say I can thank God for bringing it on my path. I had passed it along to many people before, and there's a special someone in my life who I considered a friend, a family, a brother. And I can tell he's in need of this book. And I'm guided to send it to him. So I'm going to put in some of my own money and send it to him who is in need. And I'd like to share it with you before I let it go. Now, there's so many things I'd like to go over. And I imagine the first thing that's most important is going over is how important your self-love is and your self-care. And learning how to take care of yourself, learning how to live alone without anyone else and depending on anyone else, being able to be completely self-sufficient. That is just one tiny example of self-love. Self-love can also look like brushing your teeth twice or 3 times a day, or after every meal, after every little thing you eat. Another way is brushing your hair. For some of us, for girls, I guess some of it includes putting your makeup on or putting in some effort into feel good in the way that we look. And this can be also exercise for both sexes. And the second part that comes up is that a lot of people don't recognize that the word codependent, for some of us, perhaps it's a no-brainer, right? Like we're codependent, like both of us, like a co-creation, right? So this codependency, it goes another way that a lot of people don't think about. And that's like when you're codependent, you need everyone to need you. That's like a harsh and rude and deliberate, too forward, too blunt, too truthful way. However, it's like where everyone is always relying on you, or you can't say no, or you have no boundaries, or you're always being a caretaker. This happens to a lot of us that have parents who are drug addicts or alcoholics or just addicts to gambling, or just if there was any type of neglect, perhaps they didn't change our diaper, or they didn't teach us proper social skills or boundaries, or they didn't teach us how to communicate, or maybe we weren't fed at a time when we were crying, or maybe we weren't breastfed, or maybe we're adopted and we have no idea who our family members are, like all these different symbolisms. And there's another book that comes to mind called Getting the Love That You Want, like another book that's totally been helpful to relationships. And another one I'm reading right now is also How to Be an Adult in Relationships, and it's about mindfulness practice for those of you that are aware of what that is, being completely mindful, aware, fully present. And I am in belief that it's best for me to be no bullshit. So I will admit I have been a codependent, and I am still often at times struggling to tell people no, or to find the boundaries of what is my role and what am I supposed to do. And also where I am wanting to be the hero in everyone's story, and wanting to be the mother and the lover and just all that you need. And a lot of that has stemmed from my lack of self-worth and lack of compassion and lack of understanding of my own personal suffering. And it has taken a lot of what some people call shadow work. some making the unconscious conscious and taking accountability. Like, for example, let's say someone says, hey, you're a liar, you're manipulative, you're useless, you know? Perhaps take a moment to reflect upon that and find out in what areas is this true. And then being able to work on yourself instead of falling into the victim mentality of I'm insufficient or they're right, you win. You understand? It's about you putting in self-love and self-work and self-effort and recognizing that we are one and that if I win, we all lose. You know what I mean? Does that, like, it's hard to explain. This is really hard to explain. However, Trina is trying as best as she can. And I can only teach from a point at where I'm at. And if I was receiving some questions, I may be of better assistance. However, there's not many people actually asking for my help about this. However, I am totally seeing codependency everywhere. Some of us are codependents in a way where we have always been dependent on our parents, or we have been the other way, where our parents have always depended upon us, and we are always having to be the healer and the lover and the friend that they need, instead of having proper boundaries and just being able to say no, or just honestly being our authentic self. In codependency, we tend to completely lose our authentic self because we try to protect ourselves so we can become both at the same time, love avoidant and love addict, where we are constantly wanting love, and then once we have love, we push it away or we self-sabotage. There's many different forms of expression of this dis-ease, okay? And some of you like to pray to Jesus or to God, just please make it all go away, yet you are not doing anything for yourselves. You aren't saving money, you aren't putting in extra hours, you aren't committing to yourself and your studies, you aren't committing to your partners. Everything else around you is just a reflection. So if you aren't committing to your partner, check in and see in what ways are you not committing to yourself and your own personal beliefs. In what ways are you pushing people away that's not allowing you to get close to people in the way that you are meant to get close to people. And you have free will, meaning, let's say God places someone on your path and you are to give them money. Okay? You have free will. You can tell God, no, God, this is too much. This reminds me too much of this. I feel too taken advantage of, and there has to be another way. God's love is like unconditional, never ending. And I'm also receiving messages about sometimes the spirit can be harsh because we will not learn any other way. And you could say our higher selves and God have this conversation, this agreement that, like, I'm not going to find spirituality until this girl breaks my heart, and I'm going to get back into spirituality because I love her. And really, it wasn't about you loving her as much as you loving yourself enough to prove yourself wrong, that there is a divine creator that is dancing with all of us constantly. And it's this transfer of energy, equal energetic exchange. And some of you just want to get so dark and focus only exclusively on the dark parts of the universe, and you fail to recognize and see your power to have dominion over the planet to bring great peace. So if I can give you homework today, your homework is for you to imagine world peace. What does world peace mean to you? And when you start to receive images or visualizations of fear or chaos or trauma or technocracy of what you are afraid or visualizing and receiving from the interface of the universe, what is going to happen to our future, then attempt to work with that energy and bring peace and understanding to it. What would you do if the whole world was run by technology? Is that really the type of world that you would like to have, with buildings and structures and steel everywhere? Or would you choose to see luscious greenery everywhere? Would you bring fairies to the planet? Would you bring unicorns? Where is your imagination? If imagination says, I'm a genie, what kind of genie are you? What are you creating? Are you creating chaos? Is there chaos living inside your mind, living inside all of you? And if this is true and this answer is yes, are you willing to change and to attempt to break your comfort zone and enter a new state of consciousness and state of creation, starting with your mind and allowing yourself to play with colors and dragons and imagery? So many of you have so much pain and you wish to just control the whole world and just destroy it because you feel so so destroyed and you would rather not be than to create peace and unity and understanding and release from segregation or separation from source or separation from each other. Our separation from each other is only our separation from our Creator. And this money system is just waiting to collapse. We have been so brainwashed and illusioned for so long. So if you are suffering right now financially, please try to learn the lesson. Remember, your one most important relationship, the only really, really, really important relationship, is with the Divine Creator, which lives in all of us. Not just the people, the bugs, the trees, every creature, all that creepeth. So, my form of payment today, I understand there are so many of you that it's like pulling teeth trying to convince you how I am worth money and I am worth being paid for this energy that I put out. And for those of you that just don't have the money, the job that I'm giving you today is to teach me, what is Sai Baba? What does that mean? I saw a license plate today that said Sai Baba, and I just so happen to have this Nag Champa in the car. So I would love to know, what is this and what does it mean? And if you can afford to send something, typically I ask $1 per minute or $2 per minute if you're going to book me for my personal time. A lot of times I do give you more, so make sure to tune in. If you're interested in a custom piece of artwork or something, feel free to reach out to me. I am negotiable. Perhaps book a private web camera session with me and then feel things out, and ask me in that opportunity. However, please understand how priceless energy is and how you just cannot buy more energy. I cannot buy more life. You understand? You have to understand this. Attempt to create peace, starting with a solid foundation, making yourself your home, where you feel comfortable in your body, where you are okay with how you look, with how you think, and that you feel pleasant from how you are thinking, from how you are feeling, and then that you are embodying this energy so that you can transfer it. Because when you are angry and you are sad and then you are around others will absorb that energy and project it back to you and will attempt to defend themselves and separate themselves from you because they do not want to lose their center within you. It's very complicated and difficult to translate this, and it's very, very painful because not everyone is going to be able to understand 100% where I am coming from. However, there are some of you that just totally get it, and there has never been a question. And for those of you, I'm thankful, and perhaps others can leave their questions and things that they wish to know in the comments below, and perhaps you can answer those questions for them. That's one thing you can do for me. So many people leave comments, and a lot of them are completely mindless, and they seek my time and my energy and would like to have such simple access to me. And I'm asking for you to understand what equal energetic exchange means. It means that what I give to you, you give back to me. That there is equality, complete equality, complete understanding, complete trust, complete love. However, not everyone can give that energy. However, some people, they have money, or some people, they have a special plant that would just be so loved by Trina, or little things like this. It's hard to translate into words, and it's not really for Trina to teach you everything as much as for you to find all of the answers within yourself through listening to yourselves, your feelings, your deep sense of knowing, and taking it from there. Perhaps you can set a prayer, an intention in your heart right now. Creator, I wish to know who you are. I wish to understand you. I wish to know that you are real. And then imagine how you will like that to be proven to you. Without strangling source and controlling and manipulating it. Perhaps it could be something as simple as, if I see a girl with red hair in a Starbucks cup within the next 10 minutes, I'm just being funny and making up something, okay? Try to make it specific and just for you. Something kind of like, the timing, the ironic timing of that. you know? However, you have to truly mean it and have a space for it and not be afraid. Some of you already know the Creator exists, and Creator is going to laugh at you and be like, really? However, feel free to communicate with it. Or like, maybe you want someone to say the same word to you, the exact word that you're saying in your prayer to God. Let's say to God, I'm saying the word Akashic Records. So then I hear the word Akashic Records, and I'm like, oh my God, I was just talking to God about the Akashic Records, and that girl just said Akashic Records. Like, we got some kind of godly connection going on, and I need to spend more time with this woman. I'm just using it as an example, and you're going to have to find your own understandings of the universe. And I'm hoping that my time and my energy spent on this planet does help as many humans as I possibly can, if not every single one of them. And excuse my ego getting in the way of that at times. Thank you so much for allowing me to share with you what I have received. This is the sign in American Sign Language for ILY, also known as I love you. So I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. See you later. Peace. Shanti. Om.